reaching to is to reach to why we have this psycho-spiritual warfare. Why we have psychological guerrilla warfare. All these things are based on the training that we've had over the decades, decades after decades. So it becomes automatic, right? So people would wonder why, man, they get away with murder over there. Don't get away with nothing. A lot of it is playing. All of those things, psychological guerrilla warfare, even this thing, psycho-spiritual warfare, it's kind of playing. But we're into, if you notice the acceleration of things right now, I was just listening to the news, it must have been Kentucky.
Had the flood.
The white woman said, it's all gone. That means their whole life, it's like, can you imagine, you know, their whole life, even their baby pictures and everything, is washed away just like that. And that happens all the time around the world, different places, right? A flood or earthquake come and it's all gone. And I was listening, that's why I changed the subject this morning. I had a whole different subject. But I heard that white woman last night, it's all gone. That's all she said. It's all gone. Everything that they worked for, everything they possess, is all gone. Okay. Now remember, Tafweed and Ritha. We've been into Tafweed and Ritha, but it was always accompanied by an element of planning and organization. Where in real Tafweed, you turn your affairs over to Allah. Without a plan, now we've done that, and the more we've been doing it, but we always still have notes and a plan, you know what I mean? Which technically you have to. It don't mean you just throw up a thing up in the air and says, I'm just letting Allah. It don't mean that. It means that you put your faith and you put your confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? That's what Tafweed is. And Tafweed mentions in relation to Musa alayhi salam. That's why all the stories about Musa alayhi salam. The rock taking his clothes and running off. So I did, okay, sure. So the people could see Moses naked. And they could see, this guy don't have all the stuff y'all been chat about. They're not true. This is the hadith. The hadith, the rock run off with his clothes, so he got to run back in public and he's naked, so everybody can see. This same type of thing can happen to people. Maybe they had the same name as Musa or something like that, but it can happen. That the modern environment will show itself so that you can see everything. And you can see all the chit-chat about never black people fight black people. You get put in a position where you get attacked so bad so that you don't even know your name. You can't get out of the hospital until you tell the people your name. And you may be in there 2 weeks before you can remember. When I was over at GW, remember when you came to visit, they had a chalkboard on the wall. What I used to do is like, I would be sitting there Well, where are you? The thing has George Washington. GW. That's how I got out. Because I couldn't remember when you came there. I couldn't say nothing but something like that. Optimism.
Right.
Stay optimistic. You know what I mean? So technically, let me try to fit this together properly. It means turning your life over to Allah Ta'ala. And Rida is that you're pleased with what you know, Radi Allah, may Allah be pleased. You're pleased with what you get. What I'm saying right now, the incident of everybody seeing behavior and being able, everything is exposed, well, everything is exposed. And they can see your behavior and they can see other people's behavior. It's clear. Those people have behaved very badly. And these people haven't. And they get their joy by making problems for people, and the other team get their joy just maybe making food for people, and they're just happy with that. You know. And I say that, I'm saying all this because there's a time element now. There's something that we feel in the air. All this stuff that we have been teaching, psychological guerrilla warfare, later on psycho-spiritual warfare, it may not be time left. If you notice, everything is getting closer together. The fires in California are getting bigger. The droughts are getting longer and starting earlier. The heat wave in Europe is getting beyond, In Greenland, the melting of all of that fresh water that took hundreds of thousands of years to put there is melting away. One thing that is hard for me to do is to watch television and see those big streams of fresh water melting down those glaciers and just washing all us. Oh man, there's a time element now. And we always turned it over to Allah, but at this time, it is really a genuine transfer. Everything over to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is a planning, that is almost the day-to-day plan when you're making your normal du'as. Oh Allah, show me what to do today. Ihdina siratal mustaqim, guide, lead me on to the straight path every day, all the time, and any time. You know, it becomes more real because remember, all the stuff we always talked about. And everything we've talked about, and just even when we watch the Chinese programs, and they have the grand historian. Remember how the honor they gave the librarian, the great historians? I mean, they were like, and all the people they looked up to, look at their character. They was right out of the hadith. They don't use all the exact same language in that, but it's honor, courage, you know what I mean? A man is this, and he's honorable, and he's da-da-da-da-da, right? Everything, it gives you confidence to know that when the hadith talks about hundreds of thousands of messages that have been all over the world. You can see where whatever they were called, you can see these people were fitting into category. Okay, I'll get to the point. We're acting right now off the real environment that we're living in, and our hopes and dreams for a good future. But it's happening so fast, it's beyond our ability to adjust and to make, like all the plans we have a plan to do. Well, by the time we haven't even got 10% of the way to get to the people in Hollywood to help them do this type of thing and to speak to the people, and some of them are good because of this, that, and other. Another thing about it is, everything, when we talk about the higher good, they know what we're talking about, because that lower good, the wealth, the beauty, and all that. Just like I had all of that, but it ain't nothing like now. It ain't nothing. You couldn't run me to live that dumb. I don't even want it, you know. Some people look, they say the guy's rolling out his mat, and none of us where I want to be. I don't even want, you know what I mean? And just like you can see, for years, whenever we got home for something, we spent it on the kids and spent it on the people anyway. We never kept nothing. You know, it's like, this is fine. This is just a reality. But what we're reaching out to the people, dear people, this is not a 1 or 2 man, 3 man show. We got enough sense to know that this thing is moving so fast that there's, you know, not a whole lot individual can do. But whatever we can do, we're going to say a word directed toward the right. We don't even want all the things Boss Man got to offer. When we look at Boss Man, we just look at him like a real live dummy. Like, what is Bezos or who is these companies making all this money? So if you're so stupid that if you got so many $1 billion already, getting close to being trillionaire, if it ain't helping you already, if you're not satisfied now, you ain't gonna get satisfied. We putting that in the bank. You're not gonna make it. You know what I mean? If you haven't got the money you got now, and the bad come when one of the white folks, I don't know, Amazon, when all of this, that, and the other pop up, where the people can't go out and get around, man, he made 65 zillion quadruple dollars extra, right? Right. Now the people that needed exercise, I tell you, my family, those people won't move. You already never see them. Why? They get on the phone and they call
Jeff Bezos. They call Jeff Bezos.
They call whoever they can. They bring them, and the people, is this a Jamaican restaurant? Bring me some of this, that, some of that, and other. And in telling us, there's tons of stuff, right? Luckily, a member of the family just called to get a couple of packages of brown rice that we got. Must have to be 200 pounds, you know, 1 pound.
Right.
That's high quality. That's great. The point is, we don't have, it don't look like it's time to go to universities and raise black consciousness. it looks like, I was reading the ISNA thing the other day, and, I don't know if you got yours, when this is a handout for,
Chicago?
yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't.
I know, it's easy to see. When we're talking, it sounds like, look, when you look at the subjects, it's insanity. That's why we're at the stage of total tafweed and rhythm. I mean, we've been there, but what I mean is it evolves where you say, you got to allow whatever you want me to do, just hook it up and give me a sign and I'll get busy. Because they won't listen. They just won't listen. They won't do nothing that's practical, simple practical. Right? If they got all of this water in one end of the country and none in the other, well, if you're in geography, right, and you could have super pumps. If they got oil pipelines that go all over, they have a damn water pipeline. Right? Right?
That's right.
People are idiots. And pump, okay, whether it's somewhere in Colorado or whether it's in Arizona or even on this side, pump it up, whatever places are abandoned and not too many people. Canyons, fill up that canyon with water, make the piping system or trench system to send the water that way. And if you got the Mississippi River and you got other things, you know what I mean? Pump all the damn water from over here back out to California. If it was oil, they could pump it. Right? The dummies, they're dumb. They're not, look, these people are dumb. And I'm talking about pumps. You can take a pump that's as strong as a regular auto engine to pump thousands of gallons of water up a hill and in a canyon and let all of that big pools of water all mountainside. You gotta evacuate them. Whatever you gotta do, just fill them up with water. Right? And then let the water run that way. All over the U.S., you can do it all throughout Arizona. They got mountain ranges. Fill them up with water. Fill them up with water. Where? Right down there in Louisiana, you dummy. Right? The water that's drowning everybody out there, send it on back there. They can send the oil and they won't send the water. Won't send the water. Won't cost them nothing. You can do it. They know geography. What's the high points? What's the doggone high points? So, you got a pumping station that pumps the water up there. Right? And then let it drain down that way. Maybe 500 miles. Then the collection, pump it up another. Pretty soon you done got the water all the way across the country. To California, to the desert. But it's stupid. The people, see, greed blinds you to lack. And I'm just saying this stuff, and I'm not an engineer or expert or nothing, but all that stuff can be done. And they got white boys and all other kind of people that's got stuff to clean up the ocean where that ain't hell, they don't have no money. They gonna, we used to guess about the end of time. I put it like this: we're moving toward the end of this era. how's it gonna end? The same way all the other end of eras change, you know. The fall of Babylon, it's all in all the scriptures. Except, and the people are doing exactly the same thing they did then. Exactly. I don't want to hear that. And all the new broadcasters, we're not going to tell you the truth, we're just going to lie to you. You got to be searching for truth, right? You got to say, now this station here tells 80% lies. Actually 90. This station here, they tell 80% of the truth. You know, and we like that a little better. But it's only 80%, they're not going to tell, you know what I mean? If you listen to Indian news, they're going to tell you a lot of the truth, as long as it's not about China or Pakistan.
Right.
If it's about them, you don't forget it, they're not going to tell you the truth. I listen to this. This is a nice looking lady. I like watching to her, and she got that voice that sounds like other Indo-Pakistani ladies that you know. You know, because when you speak one language and then learn another, you sound a certain way. Just like Malaysians, when they're speaking a certain way, or Indonesian. I said, that is the linest lady in the world. You know the one.
Right.
I said, but it's only about Pakistan and China. But Ukraine and other stuff, they'll tell you 88, 89% the truth. Or just be a little where we lay this way. But it's not going to be like, just don't ask them, and that's what we do. We're not paying any attention if your news about Pakistan, we don't want to hear. It's about China, you Western white folks. You know where white folks is a big scheme and everything that China's doing. India's worse, right? You can see, no, that's the flat out lie. It's worse than a lie, it's almost comic. You know what I mean? It's like comic. You know that's a lie, lady. Why would you? Well, not only them, but everybody else in their crew lean in that direction, you know. Okay,